This is the Minolta Riva Twin 28. It's an entry-level autofocus 35mm camera, extremely basic controls, but it does have a couple of novel features. If I fire it in here, as you can hear, it's not exactly quiet. The flash goes on automatically. I've got no control over that. I can control the autofocus though, so if I want to autofocus on one part of a scene, I can depress the button slightly, then press this button, which is not easy, and then I can move the composition around. The twin part of the camera's name comes from the fact that this camera has two focal lengths. It doesn't have a zoom, but you can switch between a 28mm lens and a 40mm lens at the press of a button, which is here. Let me show you how that works. So I open the back of the camera with this lever here, and in here you should be able to see the lens mechanism. So if I take a picture, everything works as it should. However, that picture was at 28mm. Should I want to use the 40mm option, I depress the button on the back and the lens gets a little bit longer, as you can see at the front, but three more elements of plastic are actually inserted behind the shutter. So let's try that again. I'm going to go from 40 to 28, 28 to 40. The flash range on this camera is about 0.6 of a metre to about 3.3 metres. You can turn the flash off, but that's the only control you're going to have over the flash. Open it back again. You may be able to make out the DX coding points here, which means that the camera will record certain types of film, but it's quite primitive. Anything under 400 ISO will be recorded as 100 ISO, and then the DX coding points will record 400 ISO and above. The camera itself goes in this end of the camera, and we feed the tip of the film over to this point here. Then when I close it up, then it advances to the first frame. I've got a self timer on here. I've got a tripod mount on the back, and I switch the camera on and off with the lens cover. The battery it takes is fairly standard and can be picked up almost anywhere. So it is the 2CR5 6-volt battery that so many cameras use. Does help if putting it around the right way. I've always found that to be the case. It's meant for the occasional user. It wasn't very good to begin with. It's not that great today. It will get you reasonably focused, reasonably sharp images if your camera is using film which is ISO 400 or above. Below 400, it just kind of guesses. But with the latitude of film, then you're probably going to be alright. So the Minolta Riva Twin 28.